He became the progenitor of the dark races.
Ham became the father of, progenitor means the beginning, the father of, the start of the dark races. Now we are a dark race, are we not? Period, point blank. So now, right, so you would think, okay, damn, we come from Ham. You would think, because Ham became the father of the dark races. But hold on.
He became the progenitor of the dark races, not the Negroes.
Ham became the father of the dark races, but what?
Not the Negroes.
But he wasn't the father of the Negroes. Ain't nobody called Negro but us. Ain't nobody called Negro but us. So watch this, read this, and keep on. Watch this.
But the Egyptians.
He said he's not the father of the Negro, but he is the father of the Egyptians, the ancient Egyptians. Not the Arabs that's in there proposing as Egyptians, but the ancient Egyptians, black as hell. He said he's the father of them, but he's not the father of you so-called African-American Negroes, you so-called Jamaicans and Haitians. He's not the father of y'all. Read.
Ethiopians.
You African booty scratcher, that came from the Ethiopians, right? You know how brothers used to be clown, bro. You look like an African booty scratcher. You an Ethiopian, dirty, stinking African. He's the father of them. He's not the father of you Negroes.
Libyans.
The Libyans, like if you go to present-day Libya, you still got Arabs in there. That northeastern part of Africa, the Arabs took it over, and now they portraying themselves to be, oh, I'm from Africa. No, you ain't. Shut up. Read.
And Canaanites.
And the Canaanites will be the South Africans, the continental Africans, or you would call them, what do you call them? Nilotic, right? Because you know the Nile River is right up in there. They dwelt along the Nile. The Nilotic, Hamitic African tribe. And we're going to do the Babylon 2 too. So watch this. We got it right here. What's your, I ain't never done Shadi. That's what's up. Watch this. So now, in regards to the African heritage and things of that nature, this is
But like you guys said,
go ahead.
the Moors, the Hebrews, they did encounter the Africans.
Right.
And the Africans, they did act like animals, which we didn't. They ate with their hands. We did it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So let me, Zondervan,
They didn't say that they was going to try to cancel out. They was going to try to cancel out our lineage.
Watch this.
Our lineage, everything they had to do with the Africans. Why can you find us on every continent on the planet? You go to Jamaica.
Absolutely. Europe. Absolutely.
We're all there.
Absolutely. Watch this. This is the Zondervan Compact Bible Dictionary. This is the definition of ham. Just let me run through this real quick. This is obviously this ain't the Bible. You know what I'm saying? This is secular references. Come on.
Ham, the youngest son of Noah, born probably about 96 years before the flood.
Because in the beginning, right? Later down the line, the Lord destroyed the whole earth and killed everybody, but he left Noah and his sons to repopulate, right?
Yeah.
So now we're reading about his son Ham, or how you say it?
At the north.
Kemetic.
What was to come after Noah?
So watch this.
And one of 8 persons to live through the flood.
So Ham, he was one of 8 persons to live through the flood, right? He was on the ark. So now this is a secular reference. This is a scholar wrote this. So we got to ask ourselves, why did he put this? Read.
He became the progenitor of the dark races.
Ham became the father of, progenitor means the beginning, the father of, the start of the dark races. Now we are a dark race, are we not? Period, point blank. So now, right. So you would think, okay, damn, we come from Ham. You would think, because Ham became the father of the dark races. But hold on.
He became the progenitor of the dark races, not the Negroes.
Ham became the father of the dark races, but what?
Not the Negroes.
But he wasn't the father of the Negroes. Ain't nobody called Negro but us. Ain't nobody called Negro but us. So watch this, read this, now keep on. Watch this.
But the Egyptians.
He said he's not the father of the Negro, but he is the father of the Egyptians, the ancient Egyptians. Not the Arabs that's in there proposing as Egyptians, but the ancient Egyptians, black as hell. He said he's the father of them. But he's not the father of you so-called African-American Negroes, you so-called Jamaicans and Haitians. He's not the father of y'all. Read.
Ethiopians.
You African booty scratcher, that came from the Ethiopians, right? You know how brothers used to be clown bread? You would look like an African booty scratcher. You an Ethiopian, dirty, stinking African. He's the father of them. He's not the father of you Negroes.
Libyans.
The Libyans, like if you go to present-day Libya, you still got Arabs in there. Yeah. That northeastern part of Africa, the Arabs took it over. And now they portraying themselves to be, oh, I'm from Africa. No, you ain't. Shut up. Read.
And Canaanites.
And the Canaanites will be the South Africans. The continental Africans. Or you would call them, what do you call them? Nilotic, right. Because you know the Nile River is right up in there? Yeah, they dwelt along the Nile. The Nilotic Hamitic African tribes, right? So now we getting, so Ham is not the father of the Negroes. Now give me, we're gonna come back to the Bible after this, but we right here, right?
Who the father of the Negroes is?
That's what, exactly, that's a great question. Now watch this.
Okay, that's it.
So now look, this is another book, From Babylon to Timbuktu. And then now, I want y'all to try to find in my phone, brother, reference that tells you, or reach out to Christian real quick, but I got them all right here. I just can't really pinpoint it. That's Jews in Africa. But it's a pinpoint that tell you that the religion in Africa always was Judaism. If anything, just search through there and then find it. You got it already? Now this is Babylon and Timbuktu.
He got it. Yeah, he got it.
You gotta find the part.
Find the part, yeah. So now look, this is From Babylon to Timbuktu. This is another secular reference. Now we go on to page 84 to get, okay, well hold on, you saying Ham is the father of the Ethiopians, the Egyptians, but not the Negroes. That don't make no damn sense.
No,
you know what I'm saying? So let's get further detail. Come on.
From Babylon to Timbuktu.
I'm going to preface this with the question, are all Asians Chinese? All Asians are Chinese?
No.
Right. You know what I'm
like
saying?
us.
Right.
You can see you can see a Jamaican just because he's dark-skinned, that don't mean he's African.
Right.
You can see an African, don't mean he's Hebrew.
Right,
It's
absolutely.
a difference.
So there's different, just because we all dark skinned, you got black ass East Indians.
Yeah, on my
Buddy with the red duck, buddy. Hello, buddy. Right,
Yeah.
period.
Cambodian,
You know what I'm
black.
saying? So
But they not.
we can't go off of color.
Yeah.
You got to go off the seed, the bloodline
Where
they
it
come
came
from.
from.
Right. So we don't come from Ham. The scholar just told us. We come from Shem, the brother that got the blessing. We come from the blessed line. You understand?
See, this is the first time I'd heard about Shem. I'd heard about
Japheth?
Gaddafi. No, I'd heard about Sam Boy. You heard of Sam Boy?
Sam Boy, I have to look at. I might not have heard it, but let me finish this real quick. Go ahead.
In the year 65 BC, the Roman armies.
Now, when you talk about Roman armies, what do we think of?
I think of Hannibal.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay,
he's
you
the
know
only
that
one.
history.
Yeah, he's
Hannibal
the only
Barca,
one.
right?
Yeah.
He was our people. He was black. He was an Israelite.
When the owner run an elephant down to Africa.
Right.
Africa.
So now, but when you think about the Romans, when you think about what kind of people they look like,
Bitches to me.
right? But
They always lied on us and said we couldn't beat them, but Hannibal beat their ass
let's say we're talking to a 3-year-old. We're trying to teach a 3-year-old, 4-year-old. What we gonna tell them?
Yeah.
What would they look like today?
I'm gonna tell them we superior. They gonna lie to you.
But what would they look like? Do they look like us?
No.
What they look like?
They gonna look like
Caucasian. So we know that the Romans are Caucasian people, right? So in the year 65 BC,
they was all Caucasian.
Oh,
You couldn't
absolutely.
find a black man in a piece of picture. You couldn't find a speck or a black.
Now watch
in a
this.
picture.
Read.
The Roman armies under General Pompey captured Jerusalem.
So now Rome came against Jerusalem, came against the Israelites, came against the Jews.
Yeah.
Right? Come on.
In 70 AD, General Vespasian and his son Titus put an end to the Jewish state.
So you got two Roman generals, a father and a son, come against the Israelites. Come on.
With great slaughter. During the period of the military governors of Palestine, many outrages and atrocities were committed against the residue of the people.
So these Roman generals came against the Jews, came against the Israelites, and whooped their ass. Put an end to the Jewish state. They destroyed the wall, destroyed the temple. They put an end to us.
Yeah.
They whooped our ass. Read.
During the period from Pompey to Julius, it has been estimated that over 1 million Jews fled into Africa.
Now, in Africa, Africa, we know that it's black people
All
out there.
black.
So now, why would white people go hide among black people? They can't. Letting you know that these Jews, these Israelites that fled away from white people, look just like us. Now, hold on. Read on. Slave markets was full.
Fleeing from Roman persecution and slavery.
So the Jews, the Israelites, fled away from Romans and to further into Africa to flee away from persecution and slavery. Come on.
The slave markets were full of black Jewish slaves.
The slave markets were full of black Jewish slaves
Hello, baby. What
fleeing
you
from
doing?
white folk. Now, give me the part in this book, I think page 90. Page 90. What we fail to understand is that we so-called African Americans, we so-called Jamaicans, West Indians, we so-called Haitians, we are the Israelites. We are different from the continental Africans. We are not Hamitic. We are a Shemitic people. Other words, Semitic. Read that, page 90.
The black Jews had an advantage over the African tribes.
The black Jews had an advantage over the African tribes. So when we fled further into Africa, we had an advantage over the real continental Africans or the Nilotic people. Read.
They carried their culture, history, laws, and written records with them.
We carried the Bible with us everywhere we went. We carried our Bible with us. We carried our history, our culture with us. We carried God's laws with us. But we don't carry God's laws with us today. Today we like carrying pistols. Today we like carrying bags of weed, bags of cocaine. We like carrying alcohol bottles. That's what we're doing today. Read.
This assured them a constant precedent for the development of a higher social organization.
Us carrying our culture around, us carrying the Bible around, gave us precedent of a higher civilization, of higher success, of higher culture. We always carried the Bible with us. That gave us precedent in the earth, precedent in the world. Read.
Because of the stability of the black Jewish culture.
Because of the stability of the Bible, what the Bible gave us. Us applying the Bible in our lives gave us stability, gave us structure, gave us success. That's why we was able to go over there and start ruling. We set up civilizations, kingdoms. You heard about Nas making a song talking about the Timbuktu. Everybody came to get books. We were a righteous people. We are a kingdom of wisdom, of wise men and women. There's more on that. Read.
The Jews were not absorbed into the autonomous population.
When we went further into Africa among the Nilotic tribes, we didn't get absorbed by them. In fact, we absorbed some of them. We was taking over land. We was building up civilization. We wasn't swinging from trees. We didn't have no sticks in our ears. We didn't have sticks in our nose and our mouths. We wasn't putting them rings on our neck, stretching out the form in our neck. Read.
In fact, the Jews absorbed some of the native tribes. The Jews made use of every opportunity. They were industrious and skillful people.
God, the brother, the secular record, God says we are the chosen people. We are above all people. The brother did research. This scholar did research. He studied. He traveled, right? He did a lot of research about the Israelites, the black Jews. And we are always been an industrious people. Hell, we built up America. Unfortunately, we've always been an industrious people, a hard-working and skillful people. what really happened when we delved further into Africa. What happened when we went further into Africa among the Nilotic tribes? Psalms 106 and 34 and 35, yeah? Psalms 106, 34 and 35. Read that.
Psalms chapter 106, verse 34. They did not destroy the nations concerning whom the Lord commanded them.
God said we were supposed to destroy all these other nations. But instead of us destroying them, we brought them among us. We learned some of their ways. We started following after their customs. That's why we destroy today. Because we don't stick hold on the Bible. We don't stick hold on our culture, our history, our laws. This is what gives us precedent in the world. Read.
But were mingled among the heathen.
God said we mingled ourselves among the heathen. We mingled ourselves among the Nilotic tribes. We mingled ourselves among the Hamitic tribes. And that was our downfall. That was our problem. Mingling with the other nations. Mingling with the customs of the other nations. Partaking in Christmas. That's mingling among the nation. Mingling among the heathens. Celebrating your birthdays. That was never our custom. That's not a part of our history. And that's been our downfall. Because we don't take hold on our true laws, our true culture, our true history, which is the Bible.
Right?
That's our problem. Read on.
Were mingled among the heathen and learned their works.
And we mingled ourselves among these African booty scratchers, for lack of better terminology, the best thing I can come up with right now. We mingled ourselves among them and we learned their works. The same thing we did in Africa is the same thing we're doing here in America. We're mingling among the so-called white man. We're mingling among the so-called Arabian man, among the so-called East Indian, among the so-called Chinese, Japanese, and we're learning their works. We're learning their works. Hey, pull over real, bro. I got a word to show you real quick. Come get this fire, too. Pull around real quick, bro. Y'all pull around real quick. I got something to show you. I got something to show you. I'm a alley-oop you something. All right? I don't know what it's gonna be, but I'm gonna alley-oop you something. All right? So,
You want me to read there?
Pulling up. Come on.
I got it.
Where we at?
Oh, somebody got it.
Put that mingle and learn their words. We're gonna start there.
You should get that out right now so you can alley-oop it.
Yeah. Psalms 106, that's the 35. But were mingled among the heathen and learned their works. That's been our problem ever since since before we've been on this side of the earth. What's going on with you, brother? How you doing, man? Shalom to you. You seen us before? Absolutely, yeah. Hey, shalom. Happy Sabbath to you, brother. What's your name?
Rick.
Rick. Nice to meet you. My name is
Nice to meet y'all, man. Nice to meet y'all, man.
Well, we was going over right with some of the folks over here. Because one of the brothers, he had to take a car and walk off. He had made mention about us being African, us not having the Bible before. But as I was showing him, like with the Bible and secular references, we always had the Bible with us. But the problem is, when we started to go further into Africa, going among the Nilotic or the actual continental Africans, we started to learn their works. Read that, finish that out. But we're mingled.
But were mingled among the heathen.
So God said we mingled ourselves among the heathen. Just like how we did in Africa is what we're doing here in America. We don't partake in our own customs. We don't partake in our own history. We mingled ourselves with the so-called white man. We mingled ourselves with the so-called Asian and the astrologies and stuff. That's their stuff. That's not our stuff. You know what I'm saying? Read.
And learned their works.
And learn their works. We learn their traditions. We learn their customs. Like Christmas, that's not our custom. But it's their customs. And we're learning it after them. Birthdays, that was never for us. But we're learning it after the heathens. Come on.
And they served their idols.
And we started serving their idols. We stopped serving the one true God, and we started serving their idols. Like, guess what? Look at this right here. This, all of these different religions, different denominations, was set up by our oppressor. You understand? Like, even if our brothers wanted to be Muslim, all right, or whether they wanted to be Sunni or Shiite Muslim, or they wanted to be a part of the Nation of Islam, that's not our God. Allah's not for us. You understand? Nowhere in the Quran does it talk about us condition is the way it is. And then not only that, how we get out of it. You understand? So we mingled ourselves among the heathen, and we started following their customs. And that's been our downfall. Like, guess what? The Baptist religion. We learned this in 1608. That's when this dude started. 1608, what was our condition? It was bad, man. We was in slavery. We had whips on our back. We had chains on our neck and feet and hands. It was bad. We was forced to pick cotton in the cotton field. We got our 6-year-olds out there. We got our 8-year-olds, 9-year-olds, 10-year-olds out there picking cotton, getting whipped if they didn't pick a certain amount. You understand, bro? We couldn't complain about no heat. Couldn't complain about having no water. Why did it happen? It's because we learned they works. You understand? 1830. We wasn't emancipated until 63, 65, 1865. You understand? And even still then, they came with the black holes. You understand? 1863 is the same thing. We was just getting so-called emancipated. And then many of our brothers, especially in Texas, never even found out about it until years afterwards. Hence the June 19th. I think this is, ain't it June 19th? Hence the June 19th, 1872. Not at all, you understand? They was getting played. 1872, you got the Jehovah's Witness. Now hold on. Now there's really Jehovah's wickedness. They wicked as hell. They're not teaching the truth. They're not telling the truth about Jehovah. 1901. Now you got 1920s. Guess what? You had the Great Depression around that time. You had Tulsa, Oklahoma, right? They dropped a bomb on them. Everything that we've learned, we learned by the same people that put us in slavery. And us mingling ourselves with these people has been our downfall. Finish out.
And they served their idols.
And we started to serve their idols. The white image of Jesus, that's an idol. That's idolatry. That Christian cross that we walk around with, it was a sign of capital punishment. Christ wasn't the only one crucified on the cross. He wasn't the last either. Just like how they put you in an electric chair or put a noose on our neck, it's the same thing. Ain't no black people walking around with nooses on their neck. How many of Nat Turner was a revolutionary. He was hung. They hung that man and chopped him up in pieces and whatnot. Why ain't nobody got nooses on their neck? Because he died for the people. He lived for the people. Like our brother, what's the brother name? Fred Hampton. You know what I'm saying? He knew he was going to be a martyr. He knew he was going to be put to death. How many of our brothers are willing to stand up and die for our people, for liberating our people today? Read on.
And they served their idols, which were a snare unto them.
Which was what?
A snare unto them.
A snare is a trap. It's a trap. These religions today is a trap for us. You understand? Us mingling and gathering ourselves with these other nations, it's been a trap to us. What's the solution? What's the solution? That's why you're here.
So part of that solution is, right, we got to acknowledge what we do. Give me Hosea 5:15. Because he showed you, hey, we've been through slavery, we've been through all kinds of atrocities, and the Lord is the reason why we did that. He punished us, right? But what are the things that we did? Read that real quick. So I'm going to ask this brother a question. I'm going to read this and I'm going to ask you a question. What's your name? Rick. Nice to meet you, Rick. My name is Tobias. Read.
The book of Hosea, chapter 5 and verse 15. I will go and return to my place till they acknowledge their offense and seek my face. In their affliction, they will seek me early.
Right, when you get tired of the affliction, right, you got to acknowledge your offense, right? What is some offenses that you can say that you do right now, Rick? Cause you know, you've seen us before, so you know some laws and stuff. What are you still doing? I see you got your beard, you growing your beard out. Okay, so what's something that you need to work on? Stop smoking straight up. You know that, right?
You know what I'm saying? You know, stuff like that, man. You know, I know there's something that I need to do.
What is our people out here doing today, man? Wrecking themselves, right? They're offended to God. They're offending God by what they do, right? This is the man of our people. Aren't they supposed to be leaders? But you got to be able to know how you offending God to change that so you can lead our people and show them, right?
Give me the book of Luke, chapter 7 and verse 31. And the Lord said, whereunto then shall I liken the men of this generation?
The man of this generation. The Lord is going to tell you about the man of this generation. Read.
And to what are they like? They are like unto children.
The man of this generation are like unto children, my brother. Like, for instance, right, how many of us have a job?
Not many.
Not many. You got a job, my brother? You got a job, right? So look, according to the Bible, a lot of our people say if you don't work, you don't eat. How come a lot of our men are not doing that today? What they doing right now? They're like unto what?
They are like unto children.
They're like unto children. They're not standing up like men. The woman is taking care of them. They're at home playing video games, PS5, Xbox, smoking weed. The woman ain't doing nothing but going to work, coming home, seeing the man in the same place he was, playing the game.
That's why this shit's all flipped around now.
It's all flipped. Exactly. So what? Reread this.
They are like.
I want you to hear this, Rick. I want you to see that the Bible's a true book. Read.
They are like unto children standing in the marketplace.
They're like unto children standing in the marketplace. Rick, look around, Rick. Tell me what you see. This is the Bible right here. Our men, this is what our men doing. And guess who has to look up to those men? Our young ones. And they think it's cool to be standing where?
In the marketplace.
They're standing in the marketplace offending God. They don't know who they are. They think they just real niggas, right? Hey, I'm a real nigga, bro. I keep a sack on me. I keep a strap on me. But who are you according to the Bible? Who do God call you? What's your nationality?
I'm black.
You black?
I would say I do have chairs.
Let me show you, Rick. I want to show you, Rick. Because you believe in the word. You believe in the word of God. We just showed you out the Bible that the Bible's a true book. Look at what our people doing. So it's talking about us. Who are they talking about, Rick? The 12 tribes of Israel.
What is a nation? Nation is family. Nation is community. Nation is men leading by example. Nation is women's support. Nation is children with role models.